It's been a very busy couple of days for us. So we're all living in crazy times, and we have probably
escape the crazy times.
Yeah, we're trying to escape the crazy times. So this is our new big adventure. So for those of you who followed it along last year, you'll know that we did a half lap of Australia in 4 months. This time we don't have an end date. We don't have fixed travel plans past where we're heading to at the moment, and we are going to just live as nomads. Obviously we'll miss our family and friends very much, but we will be popping back down to see them when the opportunities arise. But we felt, even given the uncertain times that we're all living in at the moment, that life is short, and if the opportunity presents itself, you need to grab it. So that's what we've done. So 2 days ago, even though borders were closing and things were tightening up, we had actually already been in discussions with an employer in Darwin, and Craig had been offered 2 months' work. So before the announcement was made by the Territory Minister last week, our plan was to leave on the 15th of July when borders were opening. Obviously that announcement by the Northern Territory government changed everything. So after discussing it between ourselves and our children and the employer, it was decided that it was risky, but the best thing that we could do was actually get on the road and get to Darwin as quickly as possible. So armed with our paperwork and our applications that had been lodged online, we headed off, hearts in our mouths. As we approached the South Australian border, we figured that actually was going to be the hardest border to get into, but it was a very respectful and smooth process. We were treated with dignity, and the police were extremely helpful and guided us through. We had 48 hours to make our way through South Australia to reach the Northern Territory border, which we did in under the 48-hour period. And when we reached the Northern Territory border, the first words were, "Welcome to the Northern Territory. We don't like seeing Victorians up here." The policeman was really, really lovely. Once again, we had all of our documentation and proof of the reason for our travel, signed our health declarations, and we've now been given 48 hours to get to our quarantine location, which is going to be in Darwin. And fortunately, we had upgraded our caravan from our trip last year. We're now fully self-contained, and we are allowed to quarantine in our caravan in the caravan park. So we have started our quarantine period once we pass the border. We're to stay away from everyone. The only reason we're allowed to stop is to rest and to get fuel. They will be waiting for us when we get to Darwin to make sure that we reach the destination in the 48-hour period. So as we said earlier, this is not something we recommend that anyone tries if you don't have plans in place, but we have been very fortunate. It's been very smooth sailing. 2 very long travelling days, and today is going to be a massive day. We'll probably do another 900 kilometres today, and then we'll have about 600 kilometres left tomorrow to reach Darwin. So
we're roughly 450 k's out of Tennant Creek, so we're
cruising along well. The car's doing well. The new caravan has just been amazing. Having our own bathroom, we never realised how much we needed one until we got one.
But you probably couldn't do this trip without it, because all the public toilets in the towns are closed, the service stations, all their toilets are closed. So
yeah, and we've been expecting a little bit of aggro from people seeing us on the road, because the road is very, very quiet. It's so different to what it would normally be, but everyone has been really lovely. Social distancing, absolutely. We've been talking to people via the radio as we've been passing them, but we would have seen a handful of caravans mainly going the other way. Even the road transport's nowhere near what you would normally see. The road houses are empty. The rest stops are empty. It's a very different feel to the trips that we've done in the past. We've been very, very careful. We've only stopped to get fuel. When we have stopped overnight time, we've stopped in an area on our own. We're confident and comfortable that we don't have coronavirus. We haven't been exposed to it, but out of respect for the rules, and to make sure that we don't ruin this for anyone else that has to travel, we're being very, very careful and very cautious with everything that we're doing. Once we get to Darwin, 2 weeks of quarantine, Father's due to start work on the 27th of July, and he's got 2 months work at this stage. What we're doing after we leave Darwin, we have no idea, so stay tuned, and as we learn what we're doing and make plans, we'll share them. We'll obviously have a lot of time on our hands when we get to Darwin, so we might do a little bit of a walk around of the van, and if there's any questions that anyone wants to fire at us, please let us know. The videos won't be as regular as they were on our last trip, because obviously we'll be moving at a much slower pace, and this will be our new normal, whatever normal is in this COVID environment. But we will share our adventures and hope to inspire and meet lots of wonderful people on the way, and it's just so lovely to be out on the road. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone in Victoria who particularly living down in the areas that are really badly affected by coronavirus, and we hope that you all stay safe. People follow the rules. It may seem that we are rule breaking, but I can assure you that everything that we have been doing has been above board, and we've signed all the forms and the documents, and maintained all our social distancing and every other quarantine requirement that we have to do. So,
and we wouldn't have got through. Like, we watched a truck get turned around at Yamba, entering the South Australian border. They U-turned him, and there was a guy at the Northern Territory border. They U-turned. He told them he was just coming up for a sightseeing, for a tourist, and they said, "No, you're not. See you later," and off he had to go back. So
yeah, so I'm sure if there's people out there that feel that we've done the wrong thing, I understand that. It is challenging times and worrying times for everyone, but all we can do is reassure you that we have done this legally and within the rules that have been laid down, and obviously with employment that Father had. This has been planned for some months now, so there was a COVID-19 management plan, travel advice, and a lot of paperwork and applications that had to be submitted. So we feel very fortunate and lucky. It's been a very rushed trip to get from home to Darwin. Fortunately, we've been up this road a couple of times before and done all the touristy things, so we don't feel we've missed anything, but it's certainly been a big push, and once again it's quite a long trip to undertake. We're lucky that both of us can tow the van and we share the driving, but yeah, certainly wouldn't be recommending that anyone else particularly does what we've done. Alright, great to be able to share this with you all, and we look forward to sharing what the future holds. Stay well and safe, everybody.
see ya.
Bye.